Ready semua, Dik? Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello everyone, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so before we get start our discussion for this session, so I would like to say thank you very much for trusting me or believing me as a moderator. And my name is Surahmat Agus Nandar. My friend usually call me Sam. And well, as you can see on the screen, so we would like to explain about cohesion and coherence of the discourse of the story of Layangan Putus on social media, on Facebook. And we are from the fourth group, and our group member consists of 6 persons, as you can see on the screen. And for the first presenter, I would like to invite Miss Samsuryati. Hello, Miss Samsuryati.
Hello, Kak.
Okay, okay, time and the screen is yours.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thanks for the chance that has given to me. I'm Samsrati as the first presenter is going to discuss about the introduction of the cohesion and coherence of discourse in the story of Layangan Putus on social media Facebook. Okay, next slide, Kak. Okay, the first is abstract. The research is expected to contribute to the development of the quality of story writing. The method used to analyze cohesion and coherence was a descriptive analysis seen in each paragraph. The cohesion aspects analyzed were lexical and grammatical cohesion aspects. The results of the study indicated that the story of Layangan Putus had aspects of lexical cohesion, grammatical cohesion, and coherence. The aspects of cohesion and constructive coherence in which discourse can convey a message to readers. So in this way, the contents of the story can make the reader into feeling what the writer feel. Next slide. Next, Kak, introduction. Analyzing cohesion and coherence in newspapers, magazines, especially those relating to political news, is still a favorite topic of discussion within the scope of discourse analysis. For example, in Mubarak 2014, who analyzed the cohesion contained in the political news published by the Jakarta Post, so that the newspaper has a good cohesive tool in every paragraph. In this research, the cohesion device becomes an instrument in summarizing the results of the study. Research on the current discourse draw heavily on what is happening in social media. Information writing can easily be accessed by everyone and also easily become viral quickly. What we write can quietly give us a lot of praise of or blasphemy from people who read. However, there are some people who also deliberately write extreme information content with the aim of making themselves to be famous, even though they are known for things that are not good, because popularity is the main goal. Next slide. Some of the research examine discourse in print media. In the current era, where technological developments are increasingly sophisticated, it is rare for people to do written communication using letters or writing in a diary. People usually express their problems or happiness through social media such as Facebook, Twitter, and other social media. As happened a few moments ago, where there was a woman with a Facebook account by Mommy ISF. She told about the betrayal of her husband who was tempted by another woman and ended in divorce in her Facebook account. The story made if who commented on Mommy ISF's account felt sympathy and immediately became a trending topic on Facebook and Twitter. Next slide. The matter like that is easy to happen because Facebook is one of the media that can be accessed by everyone. Whatever we write and distribute on Facebook will be easily read by other people or Facebook users. So we must be wiser and more careful in writing and disseminating information on social media. Because if we don't sort out the content that we will write and spread, it will have good or bad effects. Facebook users come from various backgrounds with a variety of different backgrounds. So it is also different in the use and meaning of the language. The marker is found with variations in the use of cohesion and coherence and its role in discourse. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation. I give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. It is really interesting explanation. So let me invite the next presenter, Miss Asma, and she would like to explain about. She will explain about the literature review. Miss Asma, time and the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for give me opportunity. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I will discuss about literature review. Next slide, please. Literature review. This is about discord, cohesion, and coherence. Next. Discourse. Discourse. Discourse is the most complete language unit and is the highest of largest grammatical unit in the grammatical hierarchy. However, the realization of the discourse can be in the form of complete essay, like wool, book, encyclopedia, series, etc. Paragraph, sentence, paragraphs, phrases, even word that carry the full mandate, according Krida Laksana 2008. Meanwhile, according Alwi to 2003, page 419, discourse is the series of related sentence that connect one proposition with another proposition that form of unity. Here, the discourse is illustrated by sentence arranged sequentially in the one meaning the sentence arranged in the related to each other, so that the four sentences may not be clear meaning if there is no third sentence. The third sentence may not be clear meaning if there is no second sentence, and so on. Next slide, please. Devise discourse as a contest together. The scope of discourse analysis is to describe the data and content together in communication process. Arianto also argue about the importance of the elements of discourse, namely context, participant, intertext, and situation. Discourse is a form of practice social as a form of applying the dialogue relationship between real event and institution with the social structure that occurs. According Mulyono, 2004, page 96, requires a good and complete discourse by having cohesive sentence as a cohesive form that structurally form the synthetic bond of the sentence. So to compose a discourse must have a coherent and complete connection that is cohesive and coherency sentence. While Lewis 2007 page 214 defines discourse of as a language user in the everyday speech and text, dynamic form of social practice that structures the social world, identity and individual self. Next, cohesion. An article can be said to be easy to read and understand if it has neat form and cohesiveness of meaning. Tarigan gives the definition of cohesion, which is the aspect of form that refers to the formal aspect of language, namely how proposition related to each other to form a test. It means that cohesion in synthetic organization where sentence are arranged in an integrated manner to produce discourse, but in terms of grammatical level and certain lexical level. The concept of cohesion basically refers to relationship of forms, meaning the discord element like word or sentence used to the arrange discord have a coherent and complete connection. In the other word, cohesion is included in the internal aspect of the structure of discord. In this connection, according Halliday 1976, suggests that research on the element of cohesion becomes part of the study of formal aspect of language. Therefore, the organization and structure of discourse is also concentrated and synthetic grammatical in nature. Next, according to Mulyono, to get a good and complete discourse, the sentence must be cohesive. Only with a such cohesive like that, the element of discourse can be interpreted according to the independent on other element. Cohesion allows the establishment of semantic relation between elements in the discourse. It means that cohesion is also a semantic organization with refer to the linguistic linkage found in the speech that form a discourse. Halliday and Hassan further divided the cohesion of meaning into two parts, namely grammatically and lexically, which had to cohesion contained in unfiled text. In line with the opinion of Halliday and Hassan, Richard argues that cohesion in grammatical and lexical relationship between various different elements in one text that can take the form of relationship between different sentence in one sentence. Thus, cohesion is one that standard that indicate that the text of or discourse of is considered communicative. Without text, cohesion, and discord is not considered communicative. Next, please. Coherence. If cohesion is related to the formation of text, then coherence is an aspect of meaning that refers to aspect of speech or that illustrated how implied preposition can be interpreted and concluded. According to Renkama, Coherent is interwoven part of discourse, semantic cohesiveness that can be achieved by factor outside the discourse. So coherent is that continuity of information. Coherent refers to how a textual component such as the configuration of concept and relationship that underlie a text are mutually acceptable and related. In the other words, coherent is the understanding of the meaning that is owned by the listener by reader, because coherent refers to aspect of meaning that required interpretation. Coherent can be occurred implicitly, the coherent of the cohesive element in the involved element. Next. Brown and Julie said that coherent is the integration of idea between part of the discourse, and cohesion one way to form coherent. Coherent is one important aspect of discourse in supporting the integrity of the meaning of discourse. If a discourse does not have coherence, the semantic paragraph relationship that should be non-existent and illogical, according Mulyana 2005, page 135. Structurally, and the relationship is representative by semantic link between one sentence and another sentence. This meaningful relationship is sometimes made by lexical device, but sometimes is assigned as a semantic connection between the part of the discourse. Coherent consists of two, namely the signified coherent and the non-signified coherent. The signified coherent is the semantic connection between the part of the discourse whose expression is marked by the conjunction, whereas the non-signified coherent is the semantic relationship between parts of the discourse that textual not marked by conjunction, but can be understood from the relationship between the element, according Bariadi 2002, page 34. Okay, thank you very much. Back to the moderator.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am, for your explanation. And let's go jump to the next presenter. So we check the time.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity. Now we move to the research methodology. Next slide, please. This research was descriptive qualitative research. In qualitative research, there are several types of approaches, namely ethnographic case studies, document or text studies, natural observation, central interviews, grounded theory, and historical study approaches. Document or text study approach, because in this study, the material under study is discourse from someone post on the social media Facebook. Next slide. The data of this study were disclosed through quotation of someone's post contained on social media Facebook. According to Sudiono 2011, page 137, data sources are all things that can provide information about data. Based on the source, data source can be divided into there are primary data source and secondary data source. The data of the study were discourse posts from an account on social media Facebook. The primary data source in the study was social media Facebook, while secondary data source were literature, articles, journals, and sites on the internet that are relevant to the research conducted. Next slide, please. The main instrument of this study is the researcher, because in this study, the researcher data collector and data analysis. The stages of the study were divided into three stages, including first, the stages of making the research design. The second is the research implementation stage, and the last is the research report stage from Ari Kunto 2013. Page 61. This study examines aspects of cohesion and coherence that exist in the course of the story Layangan Putus. The data used in this study is written data, and in this case, the researchers read the whole story Layangan Putus and comprehended sentence by sentence in each paragraph. That the researcher used the node technique and grouped the data into each data group to found aspects that exist in cohesion and coherence. After that, the researcher analyzed the cohesion and coherence of the data obtained by the researcher. Next slide. Okay. Thank you very much. I think that's all for me. Thank you, moderator.
And thank you very much for your really great explanation. So here we would like to move to the next part, and it's about the finding of this research. So it will be fully defined by Mr. Farid. Mr. Farid, time and the screen is yours.
Okay, thank you very much for the chance and opportunity by the moderator. So I will continue the explanation of the article. So I will explain the findings of this article or dinner, and then next slide. Okay, in these findings there are 7 types of findings that is found by the researcher. 2 kinds of cohesion and 5 kinds of coherence. Okay, next slide. Okay, the first cohesion is grammatical cohesion, and then grammatical cohesion divided into 3 types. First is reference, the second is substitution, and second is conjunction. So the first, I will explain about reference. So reference is grammatical cohesion in the form of certain lingual units that refer to other lingual units that precede or follow it. According to Sumarlam 2003, page 24, there are 3 types of referencing, namely personal referencing, demonstrative referencing, and comparative referencing. In this discourse, the type of reference that arises is demonstrative reference, which refers to place and time. So based on the discourse Layangan Putus or the story Layangan Putus, the type of reference is demonstrative reference, which refers to place and time. So as you can see on the slide, there are 2 kinds of question here. Is place and time. So the example of place, there are 3 sentences here with the words of place, words ini, Bali, and sini. As you can see on the slide, on the 3 examples, there are 3 kind of place here. So the next is refers to time. So there are 4. There are 3 examples, I mean, and then there are 4 kinds of times question in time. So for example, like sekarang, tahun lalu, yang lalu. Next slide. Okay. The next grammatical question is substitution. So there are 2 kinds of substitution here. First is verbal substitution, and the second is noun substitution. Okay, substitution is grammatical question in the form of replacing certain lingual units with other lingual units in the discourse to obtain differentiation, according to Sumarlam 2003. Both based on the type of substitution submitted by Sumarlam, There are two types of substitution that appear in this discourse. There are verbal substitution and noun substitution. Okay, as we can see in the verbal substitution, the example of verbal substitution, the first sentence, as we can see, there are words or verb mengerjakan, and then the second sentence, the words of mengerjakan is substitute by words menyelesaikan. So this is the verbal words that is replaced or substitute the first sentence and the second sentence. Okay, the next example is noun substitutional. So as we can see in the examples on the slide, the first examples in the first sentence, so we can see matematika is the noun, and then in the second sentence, the noun matematika is replaced by hitungan sederhana. So it has the same meaning. Okay, the next example is tahun lalu. The noun in here is class, and then the second sentence, the word of class, noun of class is replaced by subject or subject. Okay, next is conjunction. So in here there are two conjunction. There is those are coordinative conjunction and subordinative conjunction. Okay, the conjunction is one of grammatical question that is done by connecting one element to another in the discourse in the form of lingual units of words, clause, phrases, sentences, and paragraphs, according to Sumarlam 2003. Okay, as you can see in the slide, there are two kind of conjunction. The first is coordinative conjunction. So there are four sentences with use words dan, tetapi, padahal, tetapi. So in the story with use this words that is called coordinative conjunction. So the next is subordinative conjunction. As we can see, the example of the words of subordinative conjunction are seraya, sementara, seketika, setelah, sambil, hingga, kalau, sebab, karena, sehingga, namun, dengan. So the words in here is there in Layangan Putus story. So the next slide. Okay, the next is lexical question. In lexical question, there are three types of lexical question. The first is repetition, second is synonym, the third is antonym. So what is lexical question? Lexical question is the relationship between elements in discourse semantically based on Sumarlam 2003, page 35. The lexical question contained in this discourse is as follows. So repetition. In repetition, there are two kinds of repetition here. The first is epizepsis repetition, and the second is anaphoric repetition. So in the sentence above or the example above, as you can see in the slide, is epizepsis repetition, namely a repetition of lingual units of words that are concerned several times in a row. So the word sedang in here is repeat 3 times in 3 sentences. For example, kami sedang, bahkan sedang, and then aku sedang. So in 3 sentences here, the word sedang is repeat 3 times in a row. So and then next is anaphoric repetition in the sentence above, or as you can see in the slide, is anaphoric repetition, which is the repetition of the lingual unit in the form of the first word or phrase at the end of the text line or sentence. So anaphoric repetition is like the repetition of the first word on the sentence. Like for example, this example, the words aku is there on the first sentence, and then the second sentence, the words aku is there in first sentence too, and also the third sentence is same like the other sentence. Okay, next is synonym. The function of the synonym is to establish an equivalent meaning relationship between certain lingual units with other lingual units in a discourse based on Sumarlam 2003, page 39. Based on the lingual form in this discourse, there are several kinds of synonym. The first is synonym clause or sentence with clause or sentence. So the first example is the synonym between clause and clause. So as we can see in the first sentence and the second sentence, they are the synonym between the first clause and the second clause. The example is the clause tak berjarak jauh and the clause terhalang satu rumah. So the meaning of two clause is same. So the next synonym is synonym of word with the word. So as you can see in the example in the slide, it means that the synonym here between word and word. It's different between the first synonym. This is just word and word. As you can see in this example, the words nyaman and betah in here has the same meaning. Okay, the next example for synonym of word with the word is kulipat and kurapikan. So this is synonym between word and word. And then the next synonym is synonym of word with praise or vice versa. So the next synonym is the synonym between words and phrases. So as we can see in the first example of synonym of words with phrases. So there are synonym between words and phrases here. The first is liburan, camping, and then the phrases api unggun and membakar kayu. The two words and the two phrases here have the same meaning. And then the second example, the words bersandar, the words bersandar has the same meaning with the praise, meminta, dan memohon. And then the last synonym is synonym of praises and with praises. So the synonym here, the synonym between the praises and the praises. So the praises memutus komunikasi is it has same meaning. It has same meaning between bersikap acuh. So memutus komunikasi and bersikap acuh have the same meaning. Okay, the next is antonym. Antonym is also called opposition of meaning. Antonym is another name for objects or other things or lingual units whose meaning is opposite or in opposition to other linguals, based on Sumarlan 2003, page 40. So as you can see in the discourse here in Lengan Putus, so there are two antonym here, three antonym here, there are three examples. So the first is the antonym between praise, surat cinta, and surat peringatan. So the first sentence and the second sentence has antonym between surat cinta and surat peringatan. Okay, the next antonym is pertemuan dan perpisahan. So this is the antonym between words and words, I think. And then the last is the antonym between dunia and akhirat. Okay, the next slide, please. Okay, next is temporal coherence. Temporal coherence, according to Sumadi, temporal coherence, namely coherence which states the relationships of time meaning between one sentence with another sentence. In Hartanti 2007, page 45. So in temporal coherence, it is state of relationship of time meaning between one sentence with another sentence. So this is make coherence between one sentence to another sentences with the time meaning. For example, setelah 12 hari and then 10 hari yang lalu. And then for the next examples, 8 tahun pernikahan, tahun 2005, 14 tahun dan 4 bulan lalu. So this is the words of temporal coherence. Okay, the next is intensity coherence. Intensity coherence, namely coherence which states the seriousness or affirmation relationship contained in a number of markers in its function as a relation between one sentence with another sentence. So for example, the words bahkan in here is the keyword of intensity coherence. The example consists in the slide. Among the sentences are the expressions indicated by the conjunction bahkan. So the words bahkan in here is the keyword of intensity coherence. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, next is causality coherence. This coherence is stated by the first sentence stating the cause, while the next sentence states the effect. Following is the use of cause and effect relationships in sentences. So in causality coherence, there are 5 examples that use cause and effect words. So to know the causality coherence, we can see cause and effect words. The slide please, before slide sebelumnya ya. Okay. As you can see in the first examples, there's the word karena, and then hanya, karena, and then karena again, and then sehingga. Okay, the next is contrast coherence. Contrast coherence, namely coherence which states the relationships of contradiction or resistance between one sentence with another sentence. So in the example on the slide, the second sentence coincides with the first sentence mere conjunction berbeda dengan. So the phrase berbeda dengan in here is mean to make the contradiction between the first sentence between the second sentences. Okay, the next slide please. Okay, the last is chronological coherence. Chronological coherence, namely coherence which states the relationship of time series. This coherence is often shown by conjunctions which states temporally. This sentence in the example on the slide state the various events that occur chronologically as indicated by the elements kemudian. So as you can see in the example above, there on the slide there are 3 examples here with use words kemudian. So this is the words or the keywords of chronological coherence to show the chronological of this discourse or of the discourse on the layangan putus. Okay, I think enough for my presentation. Thank you very much for the attention. Back to the moderator.
Okay, well, thank you so much for Mr. Farid for giving us such a great informative and amazing explanation. So I would like to invite the next presenter, Mr. Abdul Rashid. Time is yours.
Oke, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for this great chance that has given to me, and it's my turn to present or explain more about discussion. As we can see the picture on this slide, there's a poster of one of the greatest movie or famous story, namely Layangan Putus. Well, let me explain more about the discussion. The current research has aimed to investigate cohesion and coherence created in a discourse on the story of Layangan Putus, which some time ago was written by a housewife on Facebook with the account Mami ASF, Mami As. As you can see the picture, she told the story of her family who was having problems, where her husband betrayed her and divorced her. To spill all her feelings, she spilled it into a post on her Facebook status because she also has hobby of writing. Not unexpectedly, it turns out the writing has an affair and sympathy from the people who read it. However, shortly after the story was posted on her Facebook account, she deleted the text and apologized to all readers and thanked those who sympathized and also prayed for her and her children. For these reasons, the researcher tried to examine the cohesion and the coherence of the story. Move to the next slide. According to Halliday and Harson, 1976, in their book explaining that cohesion is a factor that influences showing whether a text is well connected or just a group that is not related to a sentence. Based on these findings, cohesion in the story showed that it has been created through the use of cohesive device. It showed that the story written by the creator of the Facebook account has paid attention to the creations of the cohesion. It can be seen from the number of cohesive device used, including grammatical cohesion and lexical cohesion. The first category includes the use of references, substitutions, and conjunctions, resulting in the use of conjunctions which often
So because I think
I'm sorry,
time,
lexical, the use of representation and conjunction regarding the use of conjunctions which often appear in the story are dan, karena, for causation, and kemudian for temporal conjunction. Let's move to the next slide. In this study, the writer did not use an ellipsis, as Halliday and Hassan 1976 says, which states that ellipsis is a type that is rarely found in narration, in narrations or descriptions, but is usually present in many example dialogue. For the category ellipsis, people are not used to using it ellipses in cohesive device. There are still many people who do not understand about ellipses themselves, let alone to ask them. It finding implies that there is still much knowledge about cohesion in writing that is not understood. Not only in a non-academic discourse, in academic discourse, as students writing ellipses was rarely found, as the findings submitted by Ayub et al. 2014, who examined the cohesion and coherence of students writing in the second grade of senior high school, found the references, lexical cohesion, and conjunctions and conjunctions were dominantly used by students because they were considered to be quite easy to apply. Meanwhile, ellipses and substitution is rarely used in their writing because it is quite difficult to use. Students do not know exactly how, where, and when to use it, and they prefer to avoid using it in their writing. Next slide. It turns out the students' ability to make cohesive and coherent writing is also influenced by students' first language skill. As research conducted by Leo 2012, the Chinese students who found that the first language LI and length of residence LOR in Canada also influenced students to make cohesive and coherent writing. Canadians born Chinese students tend to be more able to explore the use of lexical and referential discourse markers compared to students with shorter lengths of residence, LOR. As a poor coherence of the story may form the ideas of each paragraph that builds that builds narrates the paragraph that builds narrations. This findings is relevant to that conveyed by one Hui Sui Deni 2012, who state conceptual coherence is the consistency of structure and a point of view, which means that an article must focus clearly on them. From the results of data analysis, it can be concluded that the story writer writes a coherent story where the structure of the text is in line with the genre of the text. The coherence of the story is also seen from its generic structure. From the findings, the writer of the story showed that the writer used generic. In the case of complication, show complications that are simple and complex. That implies that the competence of writers in exploring ideas is already good, especially in exploring varied complications. All of this depends on the level of intelligence, talents, and experience in writing stories. I think that's all. Thank you very much for your kind attention, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, well, thank you very much for Mr. Rashid for your very warm welcoming and remark. So, finally, we're gonna move to the last presenter, which is I myself, and I'd like to explain about the conclusion. So, in this part, I will briefly explain the whole thing within these articles. So, as a result of this research and the discussion of cohesion and coherence of discourse in the story of Layangan Putus on social media on Facebook, it found variation in use of cohesion and coherence. And then from the result mentioned above by some presenters before, the element of language used contain cohesion and coherence. So that's why the writing of the story Layangan Putus was interrelated between one language element and other language elements. Okay, I think that's all for my presentation, and also from a part of this this session, I'd like to say thank you very much for everyone who already joined in this session for these meetings, and as same as the previous group, for the Q&A session, it will be held on WhatsApp group, so you may write down your question right there by mentioning your name and what group you belong to. I think that's all. Thank you very much for your great attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Wabarakatuh.
Share.
Oke, mantap.